Good morning, everyone. So, in light of the focus on sacred connections this weekend with the webinar, I am doing this pick a pile for those in connection with someone else, those inquiring about a connection, those evolving, ascending through a connection. Let's see what messages Spirit has to you today on this topic. If you'd like to join us on Saturday, the link to my website is in my bio, or you can go naughty-alchemy.com for that. It is the TF Sacred Connections webinar, and tickets have been flying for that. So let's get started. So pile number 1, you have this rhodochrosite heart here. Pile number 2, this is the guava quartz heart here. So let's see, pile number 1, what message is here for you today? So we have the Devil, the Queen of Swords, and Portal. Okay, so the first thing I'm getting is you guys may be air signs, may have some prominent Capricorn placements. Look at this Fibonacci sequence, right? You might feel like you've been on this journey for too long, is something I'm getting, or like you're going in circles regarding a particular lesson, a particular addiction, a particular hang up when it comes to this connection or life in general. This is something that may have come up many times in this life, in other lives as well, because Capricorn energy does hold that Saturnian energy, right? So what I'm getting with this is that right now is a time to get really clear about what this toxic pattern is that you have in either relationships or in a particular connection. You're revisiting a wound, not because you haven't evolved, not because you're not doing things the right way, but because this wound or this lesson is deep karmically, and it's something that you're meant to learn with clarity, right? I also feel like some of you are in the position or in the energy of cutting away of some of these toxic patterns. You know, toxic patterns can be, or addictions can be, overthinking, overgiving, could be, for me it feels like overthinking because of this Queen of Swords energy. But it's almost like right now, when these planets are direct, it's prime time to get really clear about what's been keeping you stuck here, okay? And how you can rise above that. For others of you, it could be overworking, not dealing with your emotions, being too analytical when it comes to this connection versus viewing it as a portal to your evolution. This could also not be about your specific connection, but about a karmic relationship in your life period. That the lesson keeps coming up, and this is actually resonating a little bit with me in that way. So maybe there's someone here from your past who is used to using you, is what I heard, or comes back around because they need something, or because it's part of their like addictive cycles to, sounds like over ask. Okay, this wouldn't be what I'm referring to now, is not the sacred connection. This would be a connection, a karmic connection that was brought into your life to bring you clarity, okay? And boundaries are needing to be enforced. And maybe you've done this in the past, but this time you've had to get really clear communication wise as to what you will or will not be tolerating, and what it takes for this person to be in your life, if they're even allowed to be in your life, depending on what it is that they have done. For others, you may have a family with this person, children, could be baby mama, baby daddy kind of stuff. You know, if you have to put your foot down, it's okay. Even if you feel, sometimes it's hard when we're dealing with people who have addictive personalities or addictions to hold space for them and compassion, and not hold it for ourselves when, you know, clearly there's some toxicity there and that they need to deal with, and that we can't save them from, right? So it's like getting clear about your role in people's lives and letting go of a pattern of feeling like you can fix everyone or fix everything, right? Is something I'm getting with this pile. Like, it's not your responsibility to get other people's lives in order. But if you care about this person, because again, they could be linked, like I just mentioned, as family, or you have some co-parenting dynamic, you might have to put your foot down and say, hey, listen, you're taking away from my peace. Like, I want to be here for you, but at the same time, like I'm not this wishing well, I'm not someone that you could just come to whenever you need something kind of energy, right? So that karmic energy is for some of you. For others of you, they may come to you for like physical things, and you know, it's your call to whether you want to enter that cycle again. For others of you, this person is at a distance, like in my case, and you know, it's just about becoming really clear about what was the lesson that you needed to learn in that relationship, so that you can enter the portal out of that cycle with them of, you know, going round and round, so to speak. What else do we have for pile number 1 here? Spirit, about the sacred connection in general, because this might be my karmic pile, to be honest. The Phoenix. So new phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, changed mind, right? Again, you know, of course, when we deal with people, we have to, especially if they have any kind of dependencies or addictions or things like this, or depression, or like other things that we have to take into account when speaking to them. You know, obviously do it with grace and with compassion, right? Don't be, sometimes you have to get firm, but you can get firm and still be kind. For others of you, the actual sacred connection part, I do see a new phase here for you guys, because you're cycling out of this toxic cycle here, either with them or with someone else. We have separation, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of the future. So for some of you, this is a sacred connection. You have entered a new phase. There is transformation, growth happening, a shift in the mind, the way that you view this connection, viewing it from a more spiritual sense, a more, you know, karmic, meaning that it was fated to happen, fated to teach you things. There could be some separation here, some missing each other, some thinking about each other. There could, I think, something that could be a pattern for you guys is doubt, lack of clarity, you know, needing direction. And, you know, sometimes it's just better to be present in the situation and, you know, take it day by day. Other times, you know, you have, I feel like what this is like overthinking about the future, right? For those that are in sacred connection, and this is relating to them. You're both thinking about the future, but maybe you get kind of hung up on how that looks. But this is transforming, okay? Let's see what else. Indulgence. So focus on self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, and self-appreciation. So regardless of whether we're talking about here a karmic relationship and focus or a sacred connection, and I will be explaining the difference between those. There is a sense of, regardless, whatever connection this is dealing with, always to remember your worth, right? To, I don't want to say force, but, you know, be assertive with other people about what it is that you need, right? And also being appreciative of yourself and of the shadow work you've done, whether in this karmic or sacred connection, the healing that you've done or that you're doing at this time. It's about self-appreciation. It's about focusing on the self. It's about redirecting back to yourself in this particular situation. Be careful with self-indulgence. You know, sometimes we overeat, we stress eat, or we depress eat, you know. If that's the case for you, and you know, this is a portal time to shift out of that and really focus on your health, focus on your own vibration, focus on not the separation, but the fact that we're all connected through the ethers and through spirit, and that, you know, this connection or these connections have really shown you how to empower yourself and how to remember your worth, which is so much, right? Again, as you do this, things transform, things can be rekindled, things can be renewed in a more transformative, more productive, more evolutionary way, pile number 1. So I hope that resonated. Also, you know, you do have getting together, meeting the one, welcoming love, opening your heart. So make sure that you are opening your heart when the right situation does come up, and because it will, once you're loving yourself at that level, right? Even through your shadows, and self-appreciating and appreciating the journey regardless of who or what was part of it, right? And not being resentful, but being appreciative, grateful for every factor that got you to this place of self-appreciation. Okay, group number 1. So that is my message for you. Let's go on and move to group number 2. Ooh, 6 of Wands, the Tower, and Frolic. Okay, so your energy definitely feels a little frenzied, a little bit of a frenzy here. Maybe there's been some big shift, some big change, some tower moments. Could be big or little. We have tons of those, right? That has either really shifted things or kind of sent the energy in a little bit of a frenzy. So I feel like grounding for you, my group number 2 is important. You could be a Scorpio, could be an Aries. You or your person, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. I feel like if things have been getting really intense for you, just remember that this is a spiritual journey first and foremost, and that your energy needs some lightness, needs some fun, maybe exercise, moving your body. Reiki could be beneficial to you at this time. Whatever this tower moment was for you in these connections or in your life right now, you know, it's going to need some time. It's going to take some time to heal, to progress. There's something to learn here. The tower happens when we're needing to shift, or when something isn't aligned or rooted in a solid foundation. And so again, whatever's happened, you're going to be successful as you come out of it, but you do need time to heal, and you do need time to kind of go within a bit, because the energy feels, like I said, a bit frenzied. You could also just be getting divine insight about time being needed in this connection, or for your healing, or regarding a particular lesson. And this is like, you know, Spirit saying, yes, that's correct. You're getting the right insight. Make sure that you're having fun on this journey too, that you're looking at it as an adventure and not as like a burden. Because again, these journeys are just ascension paths, right? They're meant to bring us to our soul family, to our divine truth, to our authenticity, to embodiment of our true selves, right? You have boat, receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on, closure issues. So again, I feel like whatever you've been receiving, whatever insight, whatever tower moment, this is definitely something that you need for realignment. There is progression here. You could also be taking a trip of some kind, or it could be for work, or you could be recognized in some way, shape, or form. But again, whatever has shaken the sturdy foundation or your perceived sturdy foundation, just know that this is part of closing out of a cycle where you needed to move on past, you know, whatever energy that was in it. It feels like frenzied or like obsessive, that, you know, that Scorpio energy, right? And then we have Axe, breakup, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. So you could be with this Leo full moon dealing with abandonment issues, or that feeling of abandonment coming up. This could have indicated some kind of breakup, yes, for sure. Some kind of separation, or you could be in separation, but Spirit is saying, you know, separation is not about waiting for other people. Separation is about you feel, ultimately it comes from a womb of feeling separated from Spirit. So when we entered as souls into a physical body, we separated from Spirit. And so these connections remind us that we need to tap back into our connection to Spirit, that's what union, that's what unity truly is. And so to stop the focus on separation, or on the physical as a form of separation, or a trigger wound of separation, in order to stop this pattern, Spirit is saying you have to really sit with that. You know, where does that come from? Is it from childhood? What are you really afraid of? From being alone, or from sitting in solitude? There's going to be a success here. There's going to be a stopping of a pattern. But again, after introspection, after a bit of a shakeup, or after divine insight, or something happens that's very divinely led, that kind of, you know, you have this aha moment, like, wow, so that's what I was missing. Now I can move on from being so hyper focused on the separation, or on the pattern, or the negativity of these types of connections, or of this experience, this particular phase, or whatever this may be, this particular situation. And now I can see that why this happened, right? And now I can frolic, I can find joy in the fact that I'm breaking this pattern, right? And that I'm doing the healing necessary to move forward on my own personal journey, which means that I will be moving forward when it comes to love, and my capacity for love as well. So there also is this energy of nostalgia, someone wanting to make new memories, looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia. So again, the separation wound is felt on both sides. There's this golden mirror, but there's also this sense of inequality. So needing to give to yourself as much as you give to the relationship as well, so that you can move on. You can move on from this pattern that keeps you guys stuck, or keeps you specifically stuck in relationships, or in love in general. to experience more joy, more excitement, more camaraderie with others, or feeling like open enough to share with others, right? Engage in, you know, either new memories or new experiences when it comes to love and sacred connections. So I hope that this resonated. Sending you guys so much love. Take care.